If you come from a single parent home, you are a different breed. And I'm gonna tell you why throughout this video. And I'm also gonna be sharing some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that's gonna be useful for everyday life situation. So definitely grab your wine, snacks, a pen and a paper, okay? I'm just gonna let you know right now, this video is gonna kind of be a little bit everywhere. It's gonna be a culmination of experiences that I've learned along the way that is unfortunate, but it's something that I wanna pass on to you because, you know, I just don't want you to go out there naive or feeling like I did. Cause like straight up, I didn't believe this about people until I started experiencing it myself. So without further ado, let's get into it. When you come from a single parent home, those of you guys that do, y'all know, you hear that term a lot. You're applying for colleges and stuff. You came from a single parent home, Straight up, there's a level of street smarts that comes along with that. For example, when I was a kid, you know, y'all already know my story, okay? We moved a lot. And that meant that we were getting into rental agreements and apartments and, you know, renting out places, duplexes and stuff like that. And I was always there for the process. My mom did the same routine every single time. She would get into her best dress, okay? And I'm talking about pantsuit, no skirts, no dresses, okay? We're not leaning into that energy right now. We're leaning more into the masculine energy, okay? Let's get ready to negotiate. Let's get ready to actually make a deal. Then she would stop at the ATM, nothing but cash. And I started seeing this every single time. I didn't understand why she would do that until this one situation happened, right? So we went to go see this duplex and it was like a place that my mom and I really, really wanted. It was really cute. Well, when we got there, there was only one other person there and it was a man. And he was talking to the landlord. So we walk in to tour this place and they're both in the living room just chumming it up, right? Immediately, my heart dropped and I was like, we're not gonna get this place. But my mom, y'all, shoulders straight, walks right up to the landlord and this is what she did best, okay? Introduces herself, huge smile, hi, how are you? And really just, I ain't even gonna lie, taking over the entire conversation. She even played nice with the other man that was here to see this same place. Like she didn't even like show him that she was threatened because she wasn't. We start touring the place and this man that is there to see the place, you could tell he starts getting a little tense, okay? He gets tense because he wants this place as well. He's interested. He's trying to chum it up with the landlord. And my mom is just going through and taking her time and really looking at everything and complimenting, you know, the cabinetry and complimenting this and that, you know, really just like the ego of the landlord. You know, the application, he hands her the application or whatever. At this time, it was still hard copies, okay? Kept trying to drive the conversation and like really win over the landlord and like, yeah, you know, he had different plans for this place and like he had a wife and everything. He starts kind of mentioning his personal stuff and how interested he is in this place. And my mom just listens. She waits until this man wraps up his little spiel. And he's like, you know, here's the application, here's the payment. If you need anything else, you let me know. He turns to walk out. Here's the trick up her sleeve and she says, by the way, I was just wondering, I understand that you're wanting a deposit as well for anybody that, you know, qualifies for this place. Does it make the process go faster if I have a cash deposit available now? This man starts freaking out, turns back, well, hold on now. You know, I didn't know that we were putting down cash. You know, I thought the application was just going to be going through right now. My mom completely ignores him and is looking at this landlord like, what you want to do? What you want to do? You can either take this cash now, right now. She completely just like does not see this man and he's pitching a whole ass fit. I don't even know if he like ran through my mom's application. I have no idea, but we did get the place and that was her way of getting us into different places and ensuring that we always had a place to live. She learned these tactics on how to ensure that we were okay and stand up for herself and negotiate for herself and like put herself at the front of the line. The savvy that my mom always had and like really, you know, taking notes because, you know, we didn't have a man around. We didn't have anybody to like, you know, make sure that we were getting the best deal possible and like the best chance. This started to become a pattern where I started realizing everywhere that we went, mechanic shops, anywhere that was like male dominated, my mom always came prepared. Always came to have her seat at the table, always, okay? Fast forward, your girl gets grown, okay? And we had just gotten our Jeep not too long ago when this happened. And where we got our Jeep, they had like, you know, it was at the Jeep dealership and they have the packages where they'll take care of the maintenance and the oil changes and stuff like that. If you take it there, you can most likely get like a discount sometimes, but like it's just having the Jeep brand, okay? Fast forward, the time comes around for us to maintenance the Jeep, and I want to say that David had dropped it off like once or twice before, but on this particular day, I needed to be the one that dropped it off. I was going to stay there at the dealership. I think David was at work, and so, you know, I was just going to handle this real quick, like ass crack early, okay? And I have no makeup on, my hair is in a messy bun, and I actually remember talking about this on my Instagram stories back then. Some of my OGs will remember when this happened because I was so fucking pissed. Bare face, messy bun, sweats. This is all gonna matter, okay? I go in there to handle my business. First of all, nobody talked to me for like the first 10 minutes. And like where you walk in, it's literally the garage portion, and you pull up your vehicle and then you step out, and they have like those little desks off to the side, and you know, you wait your turn. Now, not every desk has a person there, okay? So like there was only 2 of them that were like talking to people. Finally, one of the desks opened up, and it's a dude. And you know, I'm just the type of person where I'll wait for you to let me know that you're ready. You know what I mean? Like when a counter opens up, like let me know, hey, I'm ready, because I hate getting up there. If I get up there and you tell me, oh, can you hold on for a second? Can you go wait over there? Like I will call you over, girl. I will lose this. I much prefer, you know, waiting here and like getting some instructions, okay? And I'm trying to, you know, do a little eye contact. Like, are you ready? No, yes, yay or nay? Nada, nothing, okay? This man is over here stapling and shit and like doing all kinds of stuff. And then he stands there and he just starts looking out the window. And I'm standing right there, bitch. And it's like a small space. And I'm standing up against this little railing. And I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, sir, are you available? Oh, do you need help? Is your car here? That's my Jeep. Oh, that's yours? Oh, I thought that was somebody else's. Like, yeah, for sure. Come on over. And so, you know, like it wasn't even like, and I'm sorry, or I apologize for the wait, or like my mistake. Nothing. It was just like, oh, okay, well, come on, I'll help you. You know, like, and I was like, okay, girl. Anyways, the interaction went as you would imagine it would, okay? Very short, snippy, like don't ask no additional questions. You're just a girl, okay? Like just fucking sign this shit and get out my face, and you can come pick up your stuff later. Like that type of shit, okay? So when I feel that somebody's giving me that type of attitude, I gotta leave. I gotta go. And long story short, I ended up going inside, and it was like a cold day that day, right? I ended up going inside, and like people keep opening up the door, and there's like a lot of people there, and I waited for maybe like an hour, and I was asking for status updates, and you know, it was just hard to get an answer from them. The girl that was working at the desk, first of all, she was rude as hell. I went up there after like an hour, and then another 30 minutes passed, and I went up there again just to get a status, you know what I mean? And she for real was like, look, we're kind of backed up, and like, you know, there's inclement weather out right now, and so, you know, you're just gonna have to give us some time. We just need some time. Okay, well, I was just asking so that I could get me an Uber, so thank you. I just wanted to know, because like if I get an Uber all the way home and y'all call me talking about it's ready, I'm gonna be so pissed. So all I need is an ETA. We talk about 3 hours, 4 hours. I ain't even gonna be mad about it. I just need to know. So anyways, y'all, after like, you know, 2 hours, and they're still telling me like it's gonna take some more time, and this is an all day thing, and this and that and the third, I was like, you know what, I'm just go ahead and get me an Uber. So I get a hold of David. I tell him I'm gonna get an Uber, and then hopefully by the time he's off work, he can drive me back over there. We could get the Jeep and be done with it. You know, I end up getting ready and getting my coffee and, you know, eating and stuff like that. And keep in mind, this was before Ezra and Mila were even born, by the way, which is a crazy thought. I actually had time to get ready, and I think I was filming that day, so I get ready, I do my hair, I do my makeup, I put on, you know, a cute little outfit, I worked a bit, and then I finally got a notification that the Jeep was ready, right? David got home already, so he was able to drive me back to the dealership, and I go in there and I just prepare myself for the bullshit. Now I'm more alert. I'm ready. I've eaten. Like, let somebody get an attitude with me, and I'm a pop off. I'm a pop off. Okay. For hopping out the truck, and I was like, I'll be right back. I will be right back. And it made me feel better to know that I had David there as backup if anything went awry, you know? I am helped within the first like minute or two. I didn't even have to wait that long. And y'all, it's the same man that took the Jeep in this morning. The whole, oh yeah, that's your Jeep. Yeah, him. Same dude. He looks at me with fresh eyes, you hear me? And he looks so confused, and he's like, hey, can I help you? And I was like, y'all, whole demeanor changed. Who is this? who is this? So I walk up to the counter and I'm like, hi, you know, and I still got my like little shitty demeanor on because I'm like, what you got up your sleeve? Like, try it now that I'm prepared. So what can I help you with? Is he being funny? Like, is he being quirky? What do you mean? Like, I'm here to pick up my Jeep. So, you know, I give him the little tag and I'm like, yeah, I'm here to pick up the Jeep. And he literally looked at me, y'all, and this man had no filter. And he goes, you're from this morning? And I was like, y'all, he did the once over. And he was like, wow, you look different, or maybe it's the hair. Like, he tried to blame it on. And I was like, yeah, my hair's down now, I guess. But like, what he was saying was, I didn't recognize you because you looked a hot ass mess this morning, and now, I mean, you looking a little cute. And so like, his whole demeanor changed. When I tell you, smooth checkout, did a walk around the Jeep with me. He showed me everything and, you know, updated me on all the stuff that they did. And then he gives me his name and tells me that if I ever need any help again, to ask for him. And we're going to call him Mike. I think his name was actually Mike, if I'm remembering correctly. So Mike at Jeep, okay? I take the Jeep, everything's all good to go, okay? Fast forward, and as I need maintenance, I go in, and sure enough, Mike remembers me, and he ends up being like a pretty cool guy. Like, he's not like pervy or anything, but like, I felt like I had a home skillet biscuit in at the Jeep dealership to help me, you know, to not give me no attitude, and I didn't have to worry about it no more, girl, until one day came around. And I don't know what Mike was thinking, taking some time off. How dare you have a life outside of the dealership, man? And you know when my oil changes need to happen. So, girl, one day I went in there, and Mike is not there. There's a girl that calls me over to the counter, and this girl, she's a boy's boy, okay? Like, she's cool, you know, yelling across and like laughing with the guys and the haha, and then she's like, hi, I can help you over here. You too cool. Oh, you too cool. Hold up, right? She treats me the exact same way that Mike treated me initially, okay? Not every girl is a girl's girl. Let me tell you something. Because I was looking at her like, I know you fucking lying. Because same spiel. What are you here for? Okay. And that's it? Are you sure? We'll let you know when it's done. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Do you guys have like a general ETA? I always have to play this juggling in my head. Should I get an Uber home and then come back later, you know? So I asked this question, and she gonna sit here and do one of these. I mean, typically it's, you know, 2 to 3 hours, but it could be more. And so, like I said, we'll call you and text you when it's done. I'm not. In my head, I was like, let Mike come back. I'm gonna cuss him smooth out. He knew better. Take an Uber. I go home. I get a text or whatever. Jeep is done. I go back over there, and I have to deal with her again. And she is on the same bullshit. You hear me? First of all, she couldn't find my fob. Like, I don't know, she misplaced it. She lost it. She was supposed to have it behind the counter. Somebody done took it. So like the first 10 minutes, like, I see this girl running around, and then like having the audacity to have conversations with other like dudes, her coworkers, and like taking all her time and stopping and laughing and hee and ha ha. And I'm just sitting there like, you better find my fucking keys. Like, she straight up lost my fob. And turns out some other mechanic had it for some reason, finally gets it. And so now there was like a small line forming, you know, there's more cars being parked there. And I'm just sitting there like, she starts getting, you know, kind of like high anxiety. She starts getting nervous, and like she starts seeing the lines and stuff. And so she tries to rush me. Sign here. And like, it was pages, okay? Pages. And it's all of the updates. It's all of the, you know, everything that they did to your Jeep, all of the recommendations, all of that. And it's in like a packet, and she gonna sit here, flips through all of it to the back page and just says, I need your initial here, and then sign there. Come on. The energy, like, now, like, come on. And I was like, okay, just give me a moment. I mean, it's all general stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's just letting you know exactly what we did. And she's like trying to talk to me like, just sign it. If there's something that you are asking for my signature on, it is important enough to have my signature on, then it's important enough for me to read through it. Because if you think, and good thing I did, start breathing all hard, ignore it, and I go from one page to the next, okay? And they have everything split up into different categories. I get to the warranty category, and I start seeing some stuff. There's a paragraph there talking about a recall that my Jeep had that needs to be replaced effective immediately. And it had the date, that day's date, and it said on this date, you were made aware of this issue, and it is up to the owner of the vehicle to make and schedule another appointment free of charge with Jeep in order to get this part replaced for free, because it was a recall, okay? And it's like all bold letters. It's like third or fourth page in, girl, and like in the midst of it, in the meat and potatoes, you hear me? It could have affected my ability to drive correctly. It could have caused an accident, and all of that is stated in there. And on this date, you have been made aware. Meanwhile, I look up and this girl's still huffing and puffing and oh my God, and like looking over at the guys like I'm being so fucking ridiculous. And I'm like, okay, you want to cause a scene? Let's cause a scene. Excuse me, can you explain to me what this is right here? Can you read that to me and tell me what it is that it says? And she starts reading hella fast, like on this day, blah, 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 and like I'm stupid. She like looks at me with a blank stare after she reads the whole thing. And I was like, so were you supposed to tell me? Like, yeah, like it's in there. And I was like, no, you were supposed to tell me. I was like, well, you're rushing me and everything. Their warranty covered this issue. If I didn't make a scheduled appointment to get it fixed, then I forfeit my right to have it fixed. And if anything were to happen with my Jeep as a result, I could not defend myself. I would not be compensated. Attitude that she cannot hear me. And so there I go, wasting my own time explaining to this girl her fucking job and the issue. And so I put it in layman's terms and I said, let me just ask you one question. I'm not going round and round with you all day. If I were to sign this document today and I don't schedule that appointment to get this fixed, and say a few months from now or maybe next year, I have an issue with the Jeep, you guys aren't responsible for it, correct? Now everybody's starting to look around. The whole place got quiet and I was like, and you specifically told me that this was run-of-the-mill information. There need not be any additional looking through. I don't need to read through it. It's not necessary. I just need to initial and sign. Did you not just say that? Trying to convince me that this wasn't anything outside of run-of-the-mill information. How is this run-of-the-mill information? You know what? At this point, she's looking at me like a deer in headlights. And I'm like, no, where's your cool girl aesthetic, bitch? Like, come on now. Speak to me the way that you be speaking to your little home skillets over here, trying to act all cool and shit. Like you didn't do your fucking job. Tell me why. You know what? You don't have no answers for me. Find me someone who does. I need a supervisor now. She goes back there, like they huddle up or something. Some other dude comes out to me. He's very nice. And he's like, hey, you know, I'm very sorry. Like our supervisor isn't here. And I was like, your supervisor ain't here? He ain't here right now? I'm not signing this document. I'm not signing it until I speak to someone. And he was like, well, like, you know, this is a part of the checkout process. I was like, you know what else is a part of the checkout process? Y'all doing your due diligence and letting the vehicle owner know of any complications or any recalls with this vehicle, with the vehicles that y'all are servicing. That's what y'all, like, that's what it is. I was like, so don't sit up here and tell me about processes and procedures, because I'm not going to be the only one unilaterally following processes and procedures. So until y'all hold up your end of the deal, what you did not. And now I would like to speak to a supervisor who is conveniently not here. So you can take this, I'm not signing it, and you can let him know he can get my signature whenever he calls me and we make this right. The first people I was telling was y'all. I like had to stop in a parking lot at like a Walgreens or something, and I was like going off on my Instagram stories. And I was just like so mad, right? I have not gotten a call. I haven't done anything yet. So when I was at work, I called the Jeep dealership and I'm like trying to speak to a supervisor, and I'm going through the chain of command and I'm like, hey, I just need to speak to someone in billing, or I need to speak to a manager or supervisor, right? They tell me there's only one man that can help me with this situation and they're going to transfer me over to him. Okay. So I memorized his name. Girl, he wasn't answering. So I leave him a voicemail. I'm not getting any call back. I'm not getting no communication, nothing, right? I called again and I got transferred over to him again. I go straight to voicemail. You know what? You're going to stop playing with me. You're going to stop playing with me right now. I asked to speak with another, I think I said like service or parts, with a whole other department, right? So I get a completely other girl who doesn't know what's going on. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I keep getting to the wrong extension. Can you just transfer me over to your directory and I can put the extension in, please? And she was like, because they always have that. They like, you know, like the little directory, like, you know, if you know their last name or whatever, if you know their extension number, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh yeah, of course. So she puts me into the automated queue, right? And you can look up somebody by their extension, but there was another option, bitch, to look them up by their name. by their name. So it was like, you know, if you know the first 3 letters or whatever, right? So I had memorized his name. I get his extension number that I write down, and I call the phone number using his direct extension. I get an answer within the first ring. Scott, or whatever the fuck, we're calling him Scott, I guess. He is so bubbly, so charming, so nice. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today? Bitch, it's me. Hi, my name is Nikki. I've been trying to get a hold of you for the past 48 hours in regards to an issue that I have experienced while having my vehicle serviced at your dealership. And you could literally, this man, you could hear a pin drop. He got so quiet. And I just know that he was just like, you know what I mean? You know, I do my little spiel and I was like, yeah, you know, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I didn't even get into the meat and potatoes of it. I just needed him to kind of shit his pants a little bit. And I was like, so, you know, it's just been kind of hard to get you on a phone to rectify this situation that I find to be extremely important. So do you have a moment? Can I have a moment of your time? I mean, I'm very happy to finally get you on the phone. You know, I'm just like jabbing and jabbing and jabbing at his ass. He takes a defensive stance and he basically puts the ball in my court and he's like, okay, so like what is the issue? Just like lay it out for me. And I could hear the change in his tone, the change in his demeanor, and it very much seemed condescending and like poo-pooing it off. Like, okay, like what is it? What is the issue? So here I go and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna remain calm because men love to say that women get too emotional. And that's another thing my mom taught me. When you are dealing with men, especially when it comes to stuff like this, keep your emotions in check. The minute you lose control over your emotions, you are inevitably seen as the weaker one, okay? I get what I like to call crazy calm, okay? I get very calm. My voice gets very neutral. I wouldn't say monotone, just neutral. Now look, Mr. Scott, I really appreciate you taking this call with me, okay? No emotions. I'm very concerned about the longevity of my vehicle. As you can see, or if you don't know, we purchased this vehicle from you less than a year ago or whatever the time span had been at that point. We really enjoy our Jeep. You know, we have a son. I rely very heavily on our vehicle, and I entrusted and always have entrusted your dealership with the maintenance and care of my Jeep. I'm not one to complain issues with the dealership being overly packed, overbooked, you know, being able to get my vehicle in on time, just kind of like laying out examples of things that I've been pliable about, things that I've been very understanding about to kind of preface this situation to let him know you're not dealing with somebody who just likes doing this shit for fun, okay? So while I'm saying that, boom, he gets defensive. He starts losing control of his emotions, okay? Well, you know what? We are actually the busiest dealership in the state. Did you know that? Did you know that? You should definitely Google that. Just like Google our dealership. We're the busiest. So, you know, we definitely do need some understanding and some patience. It's all a mind game. And I start bringing up like, you know, hey, you know, there's no need to get upset. There's no need to get emotional. I'm not trying to upset you. This is about, you know, standard practice. And the minute that I start bringing up emotions and don't get too emotional, no, this is not what it is. I just need you to be more understanding. My staff is doing everything that they can do. And I was like, okay, well, speaking of your staff, I wanted to discuss what happened between, and girl, I couldn't even get it out my mouth. Okay, we're gonna name her Jessica, the girl that did all this in the first place and was trying to rush me in the first place. Okay, the bro girl. So I was like, you know, I wanted to discuss my experience with Jessica, and I couldn't even get the rest of her name out when he was like, oh yes, I was already made aware of that. There was a slip up, there was a misunderstanding, there was miscommunication. Here we go, these key words, those key words of misunderstanding, miscommunication. It's essentially putting the ball on neutral ground. Like, you should be understanding about it. This is human error. This is miscommunication. This is like a misunderstanding. Don't try to put not now bit of the blame on me. I'm not doing 50-50s. I'm not doing 80-20. I'm not sharing none of the blame with that bitch. I'm not. You know why? Because I found it. I actually did a better job than she did. And that's exactly what I said. There was absolutely no misunderstanding or miscommunication. That's not why I'm contacting you. Simply because I was able to read through the entire document prior to signing and initialing each page. That avoided miscommunication and a misunderstanding. I tell you, when he starts, oh, okay. No, there was no miscommunication or misunderstanding. There was a lack of communication. There was a lack of due diligence. This could have very much affected the longevity of my car, number one. And number two, I would have had to bear the entire responsibility out of pocket if this were to turn into a bigger issue, which according to the document that I was asked to sign, if it was not taken care of immediately, it would become a bigger issue down the line. That was the entire purpose of that document. Standard practice, you know, it was a miscommunication, misunderstanding, it was an oversight, as I've mentioned before, as I've let you know before, and again, you can feel free to look this up. He kept saying that you can look it up. We are the busiest. We are the busiest. I'm not too sure what that has to do with due diligence and the legality of all of this. I would accept that answer if you were to, let's just say the shoe was on the other foot and I did sign this document and I just listened to your very rude employee, Jessica, and initialed and signed and everything would be fine. And then if I were to bring my Jeep in and I said, hey, Scott, you know what? I'm just really busy. Okay, you don't understand. I'm a busy bitch and I just did not have the time. It was an oversight. You can overlook it, right? You can just pretend like this didn't happen and like make sure that I can get my Jeep. You would make that concession for me? Let's be honest now. I was like, because you and I both know that you would be very quick to pull this exact document and point to my signature and the date and time to show proof that you guys made me aware of something that you didn't. I was like, and there would be no discussion of misunderstandings and miscommunication and understanding and patience, right? Well, you know, I can see that we're not going to get anywhere in this conversation. Oh, don't you love when they start doing that? That's when they start losing it, girl. They start losing it and they get real emotional. And it's so funny because like, girl, like calm down, queen. It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Jessica and then we're going to figure out a plan for you. You know, at the end of the day, you are aware and, you know, I can just go ahead and make a note on file to speak to you about every single thing. Like he was saying it like, I'm being ridiculous. Yes, bitch. You're supposed to tell me about every single thing. Every single thing when it comes to my car, home skillet. This is not what you talking about. What you talking about? How you gonna sit up here with a straight face and ask me to spend thousands upon thousands on a vehicle, on a loan that's gonna be like 5 years, and I don't have the right to know about everything that's going on in my car and everything that you guys see under the hood of the car, really? Oh my gosh, woe is me. I'm so sorry. I'm overstepping. Oh my God, I'm really asking for a lot. Wow, I'm so sorry. I'm just so problematic. Brushing me off the phone and basically trying to poo-poo me off and tell me that there would be disciplinary action for Jessica and that he'll talk to her and he'll make a note. And if I don't want to come in to sign the documents, that's fine. But you know, at the end of the day, I know. And so like, let's bygone be bygones, okay? I was saying something along the lines of like, you know, confidence in their work and, you know, confidence in what I'm being told or whatever, and beep, beep, beep. Did he just hang up on me? Did he just hang up on me? Girl, he hung up on me. He hung up. Okay. Oh, bitch. I call back. I call straight to his extension, straight to voicemail. I'll go through the receptionist girl, straight to voicemail. Straight to voicemail, girl. He's completely ignoring me, screening the calls, straight to voicemail. Okay, you don't want to answer? Okay, you just for real hung up on me because I have a legitimate concern. And you think, oh, you don't know. Because you see, my mama taught me a thing or two. There's always somebody higher up. So I got a hold of corporate. First of all. And I had to submit a summary of what happened. I'm not done. I am not done. I called the Better Business Bureau. I filled out the form that I needed to fill out, gave my experience, the dates, the times, everyone that was involved, and let them know that it's bad business practice. Okay, they're asking for contracts, contractual agreements, bitch, and they don't want to tell you shit. Okay, you know, I tattletaled, I snitched, and I said, and he hung up on me. I sure did. Next day, I get a call from a dude at corporate. Bitch, okay, first of all, he is so nice. He was a professional. Let me tell you something. I apologize for the inconvenience. I apologize for the way that you were spoken to. I gave me a year's package of oil changes on a house. Expect a phone call very soon from Scott. Okay? You stay by your phone, and if you need anything, you let me know. You file with the Better Business Bureau, they have a set amount of time, like a allotted amount of time to respond, to try to make it right with you as the customer. So this is probably why he was calling. Sure enough, I don't know how much time passed, but I got a phone call. He was like resentfully polite. I was made aware of the complaint with the Better Business Bureau. And, you know, it really saddens me that we had to get to that point, but I completely understand. I just wanted to apologize. If there's anything that we can do to make it right, just let me know. And, you know, just like this was a script. He got a bow bow and you better make it right. And he was like a petulant child apologizing to me. You're not about to try to do me like that and poo-poo me out. Like, I don't know who you think that you're talking to and who you think you're messing with, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not the one. I'm not the one or the two, okay? Came back whenever like I needed maintenance done on the Jeep again, and it was the first time that I had been back since all this happened. Girl, I got that tea. Mike was actually finally back. And as soon as he saw me, bitch, he starts laughing, okay? And I'm just like shaking my head. I know he's already heard about it by now. Of course, he like kind of talks to me about it briefly, and he was like, hey, like, I'm sorry. I heard like, you know, this stuff happened while I was gone. And, you know, I was giving him shit. I was like, how dare you go on vacation with your wife and kids? Over, and he whispers and he goes, hey, Jessica was fired. And I was like, you're lying. She was a fucking bitch. And I was like, dang, I didn't know. I thought y'all were all homies. I thought y'all were all best friends. And they're so close together, like their little areas where they work, that like other dudes were hearing, girl, why did they all start talking stuff about this girl? Boys have so much tea. Like, they act like they don't like a good chismeando, like they don't like a good chisme talking, but they do. And they had a lot to say about Miss Jessica. And girl, all I can tell you is that all acting friendly thing in there was a bit. They was talking about you, hunty. I had this experience and I had to jump through a lot of hoops to be heard, to have anything rectified. I had to call, I had to take time out of my day. I had to go through different avenues. I had to try to figure out extension numbers. And I'm just trying to let you know that it can be very difficult to advocate for yourself, but don't let it dissuade you. Unfortunately, a lot of us have to kind of go a different method to have an easier situation happen, such as with dealerships specifically. I've just learned, you know what, it's just easier to go in with David or my brother or just a male in general. If you go to a dealership and you want to test this out, I'm telling you right now, go in by yourself, okay? Ask about a specific car, get their final price on it, and say that you're gonna think about it. Then have your husband, your mans, your dad, a man, walk into the same dealership on the same day and inquire about the same car. I guarantee you he will get a lesser price. And at that point, you take the price that was given to you, you take the price that was given to your mans, and y'all walk in there together. And when you get the look on their face, take a picture and send it to me, okay? David is my face. David is my head, and I'm just like, just go and handle this situation, okay? And they are so much nicer to David. David always gets like the best experience, and like people are just like, they're just a lot nicer to dudes, and like that's checking in at hotels, rental car places, buying a new car, like anything having to do with maintenance or like plumbers and stuff like that. Like, girl, some of these people will try to take you for a ride if they think that you're by yourself or you're not knowledgeable or you don't have the capacity to advocate for yourself. You don't have anybody to do that for you. That's okay. I didn't have that for a long time. You can learn how to advocate for yourself. This entire world is betting on you not knowing your shit. You not knowing your rights, you not knowing what you're signing, you not knowing anything, just being oblivious. They love it when you're oblivious. It's easy to steal from you. It's easy to persuade you. It's easy to take advantage of you. And I've had my fair share of making mistakes and, you know, things that I could have avoided 100% because I was wooed or somebody took advantage of me. And it comes along with life is experiencing, you know, these different moments where you learn. And so this is some of the stuff that I learned. And if I could pass it on to you so that there's lesser of a chance of y'all getting taken advantage of in any way, shape, or form, that's what I'm gonna do. And so these are a few things that I learned along the way. Anyways, y'all, that is my story for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your mama, your tia, your cousins, all of that. Follow me on my socials, because things that happen now might be in a story later. And you could say, hey, I remember that. I love y'all, but God loves you more. And I will see your fine self in my next video. Peace out.